Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of It Was Never Personal with Yummy Wilfred. It's me, your host, Yummy Wilfred. And I would like to say thank you so much for everyone who's tuning in. You know, yes, thank you so much. I really do admire and honor your presence over here. Thank you so much for joining me yet again on this episode of It Was Never Personal. Remember that it was never personal. It has always been about love, laughter, joy, music, dance, colors. You want to talk about role playing? Well, it's all about that. And balance, awareness, authenticity. How about not taking the ego too seriously? Don't take life too seriously. It is all about realizing that this is an illusion. Yes, it is a dream that you and I get to co create with the power that is higher than us. It was never personal. Tune in to get inspired, motivated, and mostly importantly, find ways to love yourself and do so with the laughter and joy. Because it was never personal. Like I always say, you want to learn anything new from this episode or podcast. Listen, everything that I'm saying over here is something that I learned from somewhere. Yeah, everything. I didn't come up with anything over here. Listen, I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart, but I am intelligent. Yes, So it's not like I didn't come up with anything that I'm telling you over here. Some of the things really come through me, or some of this, but most of them, I just learn them from other people. You know, I listen to Eckhart Tolle. I listen to Marianne Williamson. I listen to Gary Zukov. I listen to Ram Dass, who I'm very obsessed with at this moment. And I listen to Alan Watts, I listen to who else? Yeah, I listen to those people. I listen to Thich Nhat Listen, I listen to everything that can get me out of the bed in the morning. I listen to them, yes. And like that, I said all that to say that, it may sound new and it may sound like it's new age, honey. This is not new age. This is nothing that really came up of like recently. These are things that have been said from some like 50 like over, I think it's even over 100 or 200 or 155 or even like way before Christ. These are things that have been said for ever. Yes. And I'm just here extending that because the thing is that I'm here to remind us of that which we once forgot. Yes. Because we all know this. We all know this. We are just in the process of remembering it. And I'm here as an aid, as a guide to say, oh, do you remember that? Because we know it. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I love you. Thank you. Now, today I'll be talking about a very what do I say? How do I say it? I'll talk about this it's what? A topic, or this episode is actually about, I wanted to say, oh, this is about life in school or school life part 2, but then I'm like, school life. The thing, like I always said in the first, like I said in part 1, life has life is an umbrella for a lot of things. We have life experiences. We get in this journey of life to experience school, you know, and school can be relationships, it can be work, it can be money, it can be books, it can be school, it can be food. Everything is a relationship, everything is a situation, everything is an experience, everything is a school, you know? So, right now, when I talk about school, actually, I will really do touch on the conventional school as we know it, as books and stuff like that. But, like I always say, how one does in any area of their life experience has to do with with how they actually navigate their life. You know, this is the thing. In life we have segments like um the body has a heart, it has the brain, it has legs, it has fingers, it has eyes, nose, ears, things like that. But actually, how you relate or how you take care of the body or how you navigate your body, the mechanisms by which you use your body will be reflected by your heart, by your ears, your eyes, your mind. Like these things will actually work, or their efficiency, their relative efficiency is very much dependent. Actually, it's not even a thing about dependency. They are their efficiency, the rate at which they perform or function, is connected to how you actually navigate or work your body out, you know. What I'm saying is, if you wake up in the morning and you exercise, you meditate, you eat healthy food, you actually you you take care of your body. The thing is that if and you have this is the number one thing actually, and you have positive thoughts, you don't believe in fear. You are aware of fear, but you don't actually feed onto it. You don't believe it. You are not ruled by fear. You know, you empower yourself with knowledge. If you do something like that, listen, your body, that is just taking care of your body. The cells in your body are excited. You know, they become vivacious. You know, they become juvenile. They become so empowered. And therefore, it makes sense that the same cells of your body, which are the same cells that make up your heart, the same cells that make the tissue that you call your skin, or the organ that you call your skin. The thing is that cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, organs make up systems. So the same cells which are an intrinsic part of an organ or a tissue, such as the organ such as a kidney, the organ as a heart, the organ such as eyes, the cells, if they are vivacious, because they are empowered, because you love yourself, because you love them, because you give them power, because you give them positive energy. The thing is that if you do that, then their efficiency will really, it means that the heart will function at a very higher rate. So you don't even have to worry about cardiovascular diseases, which is one of the number one leading causes of death. You don't have to really worry about, um, diabetes. You don't have to worry about any other thing that can. You don't have to worry about poor eyesight. You don't have to worry about pneumonia. You don't have to worry about any other thing. Why? Because you're taking care of yourself, you're empowering yourself. So therefore it's like, how do you keep yourself healthy? How do you keep yourself alive? It's I love myself, you know. So it has, but if you don't do that, if you wake up in the morning and you do it, you know there are a lot of things that we know, things that lead to the degeneration of the body. When you take in too much alcohol, when you don't feel what you have to feel, when you not living in the present moment, when you're not eating a healthy diet, when you're not exercising, your heart, your cells are not actually vivacious, they're not excited, you know, because they have to actually do what you want them to do. Your cells are not really excited, therefore your heart is not excited. Therefore, a heartache is something which is really prone to you. Not because it's actually something that really wants you, but it's because you called upon it. It's like, oh, actually, yeah, but anyways, that's what I'm saying. I said all that to say that actually in life, how you navigate life will reflect on each aspect of your life, at work, relationships, school, and everything like that. It was never personal. So, recently, like I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I attended I Oh, okay. So about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I don't really remember it. I attended this. I'm in this other group at school. It's a club, you know. You have to socialize and do those things. So we are in mates, we are just in groups, and there are first years over there, the second years, and I'm a third year, you know. Surprisingly, I think I was the only third year who was like in the audience, or if anything, if there were third years, then maybe we were like two or three. But in my group particularly, I was the only third year, and it was really filled so much with first years and second years. And now we are in this group and we are talking about how is school. We are being asked by these beautiful girls, you know, who are leaders. And the first years are saying that school is hectic, overwhelming. It's it's so hard, it's terrifying. I actually wrote it down on my diary because I like to really take notes whenever I am with people. You know, you don't want, you have to keep the receipts. Yes. So this is what they said. So the first years are saying, oh, life is difficult, it's hectic, it's overwhelming, we lack motivation. And I'm there and I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe the second years will say something better. The second years I was just saying the same thing though. That like life is just hectic. And I think she said whatever that they said, like everything that they said, it's overwhelming. It's just hectic. And they are asked, they are asked, guys, what are you doing actually to cope with that and to do that? Which I feel like, you know, at this point because you know, guys, we from a young age on, we've been told about doing the simple things, you know, like, okay, you want to pass, study, you know, but it's no longer about what are you doing, are you studying? It's actually about how are you studying, you know, are you committed to it, are you disciplined, are you are you determined? Do you love what you're doing? It's just those simple questions that needs answering. Do you like it? Are you inspired? Are you committed? Are you disciplined? Are you determined? So these students are just saying, you know, it's hard. I have to actually miss my class to actually finish up what I didn't understand in my mathematics class. And next time in class, I don't even understand. You know, like they were saying things which I myself don't relate with. Like I don't get it. I don't know how life in school, I don't get how school can be so overwhelming on a personal level. Like I don't like I actually get gobsmacked. I'm like, what? Last time I was with my counselor and she told me that you know, Wilfred, it's serious because BSc students actually, yeah, she was like almost more than 80% of the students who come to me with frustrations and anxiety and depression and whatever are BSc students. And it made sense because the BSc faculty is actually the one that has like statistics of students who commit suicide each semester. I'm still waiting to see if this semester such a thing will happen, you know, but it's been a trend. So my counselor is telling me these things and saying that students are getting 2 hours and 30 hours of sleep. I'm like, 2 hours, 30 minutes of sleep? Really? And we think that we will be able to get it? No, we won't. We won't. Like it's not surprising. And then I started laughing because then I realized that, oh, okay, now I get why actually school is hectic, it's difficult, it's overwhelming, they lack motivation. It's because, honey, you are getting 2 hours of sleep. Like, what do you think that's self love? No, that's not it. And then when I really recoil back to the meeting I was in at the club, the Destiny Club, you know, these boys, we are then asked to actually give out um Like, we are actually asked to give out ways in which we can do it better. Like, oh, actually, you have to be organized, time management, course outline, weekly planner, working under pressure is a no no. Study every day, practice questions, remove the distractions. They were just saying things which I feel like have been said over 100 million times. And it's like, guys, we cannot still be um playing the same notes or playing the same key when we see that actually these keys are not received by students. We tell students, be organized, study every day. Are they willing to do that? They're not. And it's not actually like they're not doing it. It's actually, why are they not doing it? Why are they not studying every day? You know? And it goes back to, do you really love yourself? Oh, okay. Thank you for answering it. Because my thing is, when I wake up in the morning, I pray, I meditate, I stretch, then I exercise, and then I walk to school, I sing, I dance, I laugh, I and then I read. When I say I read, there's a difference between reading and studying. To me, studying is actually like repetition or trying to really get to know concepts. It's trying to be smart. It's just trying to fit in. It's trying to really say, okay, I'm trying to get in the matrix and just say, this is actually what we do in our culture. So I'm just trying to fit in. That's when I'm studying. Then I do that. But when I say I'm reading, I mean I actually empower myself with knowledge. I'm getting knowledge. I am reading. And because reading is fundamental. You want to talk about reading? Reading is fundamental. So whenever I say I'm reading, I'm not talking about school stuff. I'm not talking about curriculums like that. This is not an organized thing. This is actually self help. I'm reading self help books. I'm reading spiritual books. I'm reading Eckhart Tolle. Ram, does you want to talk about Alan Watts? You know, those are the people that I'm reading. So my mornings, which is actually like from half three up until 8. Yes, up until 8. But let's say roughly around, yes, up until 8. So from half 4 to 8, I'm actually working on myself. I'm trying to really set my mind right. Because in the morning, when I say I get up and I pray to actually recenter myself, rebalance, and reconnect myself to the source. I meditate so that I connect to the source. I call it the source. Some other people call it God. Some other people call it whatever. You know, I don't care. You can use any word, it's still fine. So I do that each morning. I get down, I pray, and it's a reminder that I'm lucky. I have to remind myself I have affirmations, that I read in the morning. Oh my God, I'm very lucky. I'm grateful. I'm positive. I'm joyful. I am aware of everything, but I focus on the light. I have to do that every day, you know, every day before I sleep, because during the course of the day, my tail grows back or grows off my body again. Because in the morning I cut it off and then I'm at balance. But during the day, I tend to actually shift away from pH 7. I move away from the balance. I lose sync, you know. Sometimes I go to the left, but sometimes I go to the right. I'm not at center. So it's very important that when I go to sleep, I have to recenter myself. I have to return to pH 7. I have to be neutral. And I pray again, you know. I have to ask myself, Wilfred, how are you feeling? Like, that question is very important. I answer that question every morning and every what? Evening when I go to sleep. Because that question really allows me to enter through my feelings. It allows me to enter through my feelings, and feelings are an indicator. They're not facts, they're just indicators. I'm like, how do you feel, Alfred? And it's like, oh, okay, I feel this. Why? Oh, because of that. Why? Oh, because of that. It allows me to reconnect to my inner child. The only person who I'm taking care of, the only person who needs validation from is me. Like my inner child is actually it only needs validation, love, acceptance from me. But during the course of the day, sometimes I forget along the day, and then I try and give that role of I try and let my lecturer give my inner child the validation. You know, I try and let my mother give my inner child the validation. I try and let this other boy who I feel like they're so pretty, I try and let them to mother or father my inner child, but my inner child only wants me. It's like, no, Wilfred, I just want you. And whenever I fail to actually do that role, I'll get to the board, to back to the drawing board, and I go, how are you feeling, Wilfred? And I'll go, I feel I feel low, I'm very vibrant. Like it will be something else. But whenever I really did take the role, I'm actually high. I'm actually high. And I come back to the center, I connect to the inner child, and I have to remember because I have a picture of my I don't know, I'll ask my mom how old I was over there, but I look like I was 2, 3 years old over there. But three is actually a lot. I think I was 1 year old over there, or two. So I look at that picture of my little child and I go, hmm, hi Wilfred, hi Yummy Wilfred. I call him Yummy Wilfred, because that's the name that they gave him. Is he Yummy Wilfred? He's not. So I look at him and I go, hi Yummy Wilfred, how are you? Did I do a good job today? Hmm. And then I go, um, it's imperative that I nurture and reassure my inner child. It's imperative, that I nurture him, I soothe him, I love him, I mother and father him, I parent him, I let him grow. I really nurture him, I give him love. That little boy over there. And it's very imperative that I reassure him that, hey, honey, listen, it was never personal. What your sister said, it was never personal, honey. What your mom said, it's not that. Honey, no, 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 no. I have to really actually say to him, I will say, Yummy Wilfred, realize that they are pushing against themselves. It wasn't personal. It's like reading the comments on YouTube or whatever about yourself, honey. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Oh, he said that you are ugly. Has nothing to do with you, honey. Of course. Right now, Yummy Wilfred, you are really you took it personal. But listen, it's not personal, honey. Okay, they don't like themselves. It's not like they don't like you. I know that, baby. I know you feel like they don't like you, but they don't like themselves. You know. So it's actually an everyday work. It's a responsibility that I have upon myself. And like I'm saying this, it's a responsibility that I have upon myself to actually take that time from the morning and go, oh, I'm at center. And and then at evening going, I'm at center. You know? It's the same rhythm every day. This is just the routine. It's like it's every day. It's an everyday thing. And the thing is that, habits are very automatic. So I've been doing this for like 4 years right now, or maybe more than 4 years. So it feels very lightheaded. It feels very lightweight. It feels very easy, But is it? No, honey, it's not easy. Sometimes I forget. But relatively to some people who don't actually do it, it looks like I'm a genius at it. It feels like I really master it. Why? Because I've been doing it every day and I stood committed to it. I was determined to it. I'm disciplined to it. I am, I'm inspired by it because I love it, because I love myself. So, all these things of, oh yeah, first year is difficult, hectic, overwhelming. I like motivation, it's hectic. Honey, the real question is, do you love yourself? Do you take time to actually go, where in my area, where in school am I stuck? Surprisingly, you will realize that whatever area in school you are stuck is the same area in life in general where you are stuck. For example, I have this other thing. The place where I'm stuck is actually when I get into each semester. I would have maybe 6 modules, but now I'm doing 9 modules. Okay, yeah, I have 9 modules, and then it's usual for me to go. Yeah, one module is like that module. Oh, that's not my thing. That's hard. And I've seen it. I've seen it over the course of like 3 semesters. I've seen it over the course of 3 semesters. And I was like, Wilfred, why are you recreating this over and over and over again? You always say, oh, physics is hard. Oh, microbiology is hard. Oh, this is hard. I'm not for the ICT. Those things are hard for me. Like those are just definitions that I've given myself. I have created those limitations for myself. Like the greatest limitations that I have had to overcome in life were actually set and are actually set there by me. You know, every limitation that I have to break through is actually, and if it's the hardest, is actually that because it was set there or placed there by me. That is what actually I'm saying over here. Find the areas where you are stuck and you go, so I've been recreating this over and over and over again. It's the same with my relationships, like going from one boy to another one to another one to another. I go, oh my God, I've been recreating this thing. Why? What is the question that I'm not asking? What is the lesson? You know, what is it that I'm not seeing over here? It's the same thing when I get to school. And that is what I'm saying. There's students, there's people who feel like school is hard. They have to actually say, where am I stuck? Where have I restricted myself? Where do I have narrow perspectives? Where do I have narrow mindsets? You know, where am I playing small? And the thing is that people, we love playing small. It works for us. A lot of students do it. Not even students, even our parents play small. You get into you get into a class and a lot of students are on their phone scrolling through social media. They're in WhatsApp and it's like, oh, okay. So they're in WhatsApp. It means that the lecturer is boring. Okay. So actually, but then you ask them, is the lecturer boring? No, they're not boring. I just have something to do. And then I look at what they're saying that they're doing. They're in WhatsApp statuses or Instagram statuses, and they are just pressing on to the next. They're not even taking in what the status is about. It's like, oh, tap, tap, tap to next, to the next, to the. They are just not there. People are not present. People are just playing small. It's like we are zombies, they're the walking dead. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, because the same students that are actually saying it over here, saying school is difficult or life is hectic or overwhelming, honey, it's you created this, you know it, right? Yeah, like it's your responsibility to actually make it whatever you want it to be. You know, if you have experienced it, then you must have actually created it. If you have experienced it, you have created it. It's no other way. But we have this tendency of blaming people. It's like, no, school is hectic because guess what? People are picking so much of modules on top of the other. I have a lab after this. There's the people. My mommy said you want to point fingers. You want to blame someone else. You don't want to take the accountability. But it's all yours. It's all your responsibility. And I'm telling you, that little child that each one of us have, that inner child that we have, by the time that those students say, you know, school is difficult, that inner child feels very betrayed. It feels very unseen, you know? Because, like I'm saying, people are not present. People are not willing to sit here and say, where am I stuck? Where am I not going right? Where am I not loving myself? What are the areas that I'm actually fighting against myself? You know? Like, how can you sleep for 2 hours and 30 minutes and actually think that's good for you? Honey, that's just self loathing. And I get why people would do it. I get it. I get it because the mistake that we did was, or the mistake that our culture did, is to actually say, um success equals money. So if you have money, then you're successful. So then we look up to these billionaires, we look up to these millionaires. Yeah, but relatively or predominantly, we look up to these billionaires. Like, I was with my friend the other day and I'm like, do you know this guy? And she's like, oh, yeah, I know. And I'm like, do you feel he's rich? And he's like, yeah, he's the richest man on earth. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. You know, because are they really rich? Are they successful? I don't know. Are you, you're taking off you're taking off monetary value. It's like, oh, they're only rich because it's like because they have money, then they're all rich, and you use them. A lot of boys are actually doing that right now. Not only boys, but everybody. It's like, yeah, if I can actually do what he did, you get into YouTube and you're like, oh, how did so and so get so successful? And then YouTube gives you, and the guy is like, or the lady is like, or that person is like, oh, I didn't sleep. I only slept for like 5 hours a day. I only slept for like 2 hours a day. I did not, I wasn't really, I was always working, 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 working. I'm always this, this, this. And then you're like, oh yeah, I know now because yeah, now I feel like I know what to do. I have the motivation because I said that I'm lacking motivation. Now I found the motivation. And where did you find it? Externally. You found it from someone else, yeah. And that guy is a billionaire. That person is the richest person. So because they were sleeping 2 hours a day, it means that if you sleep 2 hours a day, then you too, you're going to make it. Oh my god! Isn't that like neurotic? That's neurosis. It's sickness. It's unconscious. It's like, what? Honey, no, 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 no. No. I mean, I don't know who said it to us that we to actually be happy, to be joyful, to be successful, we have to work very much hard and very ugly to the core. We have to get so dirty. We have to feel the pain. We have to go through the fire. But that's not it. And it's like, okay, who's the most smartest kid in school? And then you find them and you ask them, oh yeah, how are you doing it? They're like, oh, I don't go to parties, I don't take any drugs and alcohol, I don't watch TV, I don't watch TV, I don't listen to music, I don't. They're like telling you what they're doing. They're like, I read every day, I spend around 12 hours at the library, I attend tuitions, I I there's a lot that I'm doing, but oh, you want to talk about this hours of sleep that I get? I get, if I'm lucky, I get 6 hours, but usually I get 4 hours of sleep because I wake up at 12 in the evening, and I have to read up until 4, and from 4 to 6 I sleep, and then 7 I wake up. Usually if at 7 I have to be attending a class, I miss it because I'm getting ready. Moreover, I've been reading, so I don't really actually attend lessons like that because I have my tuition and I'm teaching myself. And yeah, I read a lot, I study a lot, and that's about it. It's all about working, working, working. I get 4 hours of sleep. Remember, you have to really do study a lot per day. That's how I got to be a doctor. That's how I got to be a nurse. That's how I got to graduate. That's how I got my master's. That's how I have a PhD. That's how I have this label of a CEO of this company. That's how I created this um, real estate buildings. That's how I actually win. That's why I'm successful. And then to this 18, 17, 16-year old first year, it's like, I have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to always spend 12 hours in the library. I'm going to not, I'm missing, I don't do parties, I don't watch TV. I, I'm always reading, I'm studying, I get home, I get into my room, I have to be I sleep from like because I get late at school because I was just in the library. I have to really sleep from 10 to 12, then from 12 to 4 I'm reading, 4 to 6 I'm sleeping, and then I'm back to school and I'll make it. And they do. Don't get it twisted, they do. Most of them they do. No, okay, not most of them, level a fraction of them they do. You know, they do it like via the pain, via I was working hard, I was not sleeping. I had sleepless nights. That's not my routine about it. That's not my belief. I don't think you have to do that to actually be successful, or to pass, or to be happy. You know, like, you don't have to do it. I can tell you my resume about it, like I get um I get at most 4 hours of study per day. 4 hours of study per day, or 3 hours of study per day. I sleep at least 8 hours per day. I sleep at 7 p.m. I wake up at half 3. You want to talk about that? I watch TV. I listen to music. I dance like a maniac. I, I do, yeah, but still, I'm just having fun around it. I'm having fun around it. So it is a hoax. The hoax is that you have to actually do it the ugly way to make it in life, which is not. I mean, yeah, you can do it, and it's your choice. It's your choice, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be a wounded, a scarred, a pained, a person who's full of pain by the time I'm successful. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't, yeah, I just want to, I still want to be playful. I want to still have the self love that I have and things like that, you know? So that is what I had for you for, um, the F school part 2 in here, you know? Because the thing is, do you love yourself? If you love yourself, then you would really know what you have to do. You would really set out your priorities. What is it that you really want? Not not what you think you want, not what you think your boyfriend or girlfriend wants, not what you think your mom or your dad wants, not what you think people want from you. I don't measure my success, to me success is not about money, it's not about, yes, I do want money, yes, I love money, but it's all about being able to sit here and go, oh, oh my god, I am. I'm enjoying this moment. Like, do I have a problem? Do I have, am I stressed right now? Nope. Do I have a problem right now? No. Am I anxious? No. Can I laugh? Oh, yes, honey. Like, how do I feel? Like, to me, success is me being able to get um home at night and I go, hi, Yummy Wilfred. How are you feeling? And then the answer is, oh, I feel very grateful. I feel very lucky, blessed, anointed. I feel like the anointed child. To me, that's success. The ability to create magic, the ability to be a miracle worker, to be able to just create an atmosphere of positive joy, laughter, dance, music. You want to talk about success? Talk about those things, honey. Like, that's just that. Not none of those things that people really talk about and say that it's success. I don't know. That's their thing and it's fine. Just go about it that way. But I thought you might like to know what I thought about it. I'm not saying change the way you want to do it. If you want to do it, it's fine. It's your choice. I mean, I'm not going to be resentful over you. That's how you want to roll the dice, then so be it. That is it. I'm accepting it. But I just thought that you would like to know about this other side that I really live on, which I feel like I thought people knew of, but then it's like, oh, people don't know because I never really, I don't have time to go. Oh, life is, I'm actually dealing with the most of what I'm dealing with in life or this experience is just areas where I'm stuck. Is like, oh, I have to actually go and I have to really go. Wilfred, where are you stuck in right now? Where do I have to work at? Oh, oh, relationships. Okay, I see that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that, okay. But really, relative, it's never really about school, whatever, money. I don't have time for that. Yeah, but it was really nice talking to you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. I love you, and remember, it was never personal. It was never personal. Bye.